This is kind of interesting. This was a thread going on Twitter from at 40_head. Out damn standing. We've been given a smoking gun. Watch for a significant drop in the Democrats' push for mail-in voting. It's coming. Trump let Democrats make their move. Now, after they're too far in to create a new scheme for rigging the election, Trump drops basically a proverbial bomb. Or boom, he says boom. Trump drops a boom. So, I'm going to read this to you. It's a little bit lengthy, not too bad. It's got 25 parts, but you know how tweets are very small. So 25 tiny, small tweets. So just follow me on this. If you're asking me, Joe, do you really think... Honestly, I don't know what's it. I got some Ian slobber. Look at this. You can see it real good on the camera. Baby E and baby E, and he's a little slobber mouth right now. He's bubbling and brrr, brrr. I'm like, dude, are you trying to beat? Because I beatbox to him sometimes, when he's sitting there. He likes it. So I wonder, is he like trying to do that by going, brrr, brrr, little, spitty slobber coming out of his mouth? And then I put a new shirt on, and he does it right there, and I have to throw it away or put it in the bin, get another shirt. He does it again. All right, Ian, you little rascal. Anyways, it makes sense. I'll say that, but do I for sure? Can I tell you? Oh yeah, this is gonna happen. Honestly, I can't. But this is definitely good enough to repeat to you because there's some things in here that make you go, Now that's interesting. And knowing Trump the way we know Trump, he rolls with their story and then flips it on them, just like Corona. Mask, we need mask. Oh, here's your mask. We're running out of ventilators. Oh, here's your ventilators. We need more ventilators, sir. Trump said you had 1,000 in storage at New York hospital. Not only is that incorrect, that is patently false. Well, of course we have we do have 1,000 ventilators in storage. We don't need them right now. Busted. Governor Cuomo, you prick. He had masks and ventilators ready so fast it made everybody's head spin. And now he's got Dr. Birx and Fauci backpedaling. They're being exposed. Again, the guy is a freaking master. For that reason, what I'm about to read you may, in fact, we might be onto something. Out damn standing. We have been given a smoking gun, blah, blah, blah. The U.S. intelligence community will lead all intelligence-based threat briefings to candidates, campaigns, and political organizations. Bill Evanina, the director of the National Counterintelligence and Security Center, will be the IC's leader to this critical effort. And I think he may say it in here, but they said we're no longer briefing the FBI on this anymore. Which to me means, yeah, because there's still some leakers over there. And he may say that in here, but I'm just remembering now, so I want to just throw that out there. That's partly what he's talking about. Do you understand what this means? Trump is very proactively protecting the 2020 elections by assigning the Office of the Director of National Intelligence to perform counterintelligence operations to seek out anybody who may be trying to rig or influence our elections. This is not reactionary. This is proactive. You wonder why Obama didn't do the same thing when they said that Russia was influencing the 2016 elections. You may go with the knee-jerk reaction and say, well, because Obamagate was behind it all. But there's more to it. Much more. And by the way, let me pause. This Mike Garcia dude, California, they were calling it victory 3 days ago. And I'm like, well, hold on. There's still mail-in voting that has to be counted. And they're making a big deal out of that, as a matter of fact. And supposedly by Friday is the final day where the mail-in ballots can come in and then they'll count those. But all of a sudden, the Democratic contender, I think it was a lady, she conceded and no, he won. Mike Garcia, mail-in ballots. I just want to see if anything. One day ago, voting by mail helps the GOP. You don't say. Maybe what I'm about to read you is effing gold. As far as the Twitter feed, this may be proof. What else, Hal? I'm going to give you an example. The 2018 midterms. Andrew Gillum Yeah, the guy who got busted having the gay sex party, drug-fueled thing, orgy at the hotel. Yeah, that guy. He got busted recently. He's got a 7-point lead over the Republican Ron DeSantis. Yeah, okay. The Democrat strongholds. Broward County and was it Palm Beach County? Oh, we want to recount. We want to recount. It was kind of close. We want to recount. All right. No, we didn't fight. The Republicans. Okay. All right. Here's a recount. Go for it. They found more Republican voters. Oh, snap. So Palm Beach and Broward County basically call each other, hey, turn your results in 2 minutes late because then they're null and void. We'll have the better numbers that way, even though we still lost. Okay. So they both turned them in 2 minutes late. Sorry, you're disqualified for the recount. Not that it mattered because it gave more GOP candidate votes. So here, Washington Post. Voting by mail helps the GOP. California's special election proved that. Rob Stutzman is a Republican political consultant in Sacramento. A socially isolated election was held this week, and although it's never wise to draw big conclusions from one-off events, the clear lesson in Tuesday's race for California's 25th congressional district is this. It is time for Republicans to get on the vote-by-mail train. The race in Southern California suggests that voting by mail can help Republicans win. So why are so many Republicans, including the president, against it? The special election suggests a different path. Yes, it was probably inevitable that Republican Mike Garcia would fare better than Democrat Christy Smith in the race to fill the seat. Was vacated by Democrat Katie Hill, who stepped down from her, again, another sex scandal, of course. Yes, Republicans always hold an advantage in low turnout special elections. And yes, the 25th had been in a safe GOP seat since 1993, until Hill came along in 2018. So, but here it is, in the state no longer so friendly to the GOP that the Republicans just won a vote-by-mail slugfest. Some background, Newsom signed an executive order to allow it, blah, 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 blah. That 425,000 voters received their mail-in ballot by Tuesday. This came in prepaid envelopes, and voters were able to drop off the ballots at collection centers in the district. In the end, turnout wasn't high. Approximately 180,000 people voted. But while registered Democrats outnumber registered Republicans in the district, by Election Day, 10,000 more Republicans than Democrats had returned their ballots by mail. Our president is an awesome president. He is. Seriously, sent from heaven above. Let's continue. I never would have thought in a million years Trump would just sit back and, like he is, he's vocal about it. The mail-in voting, we got to, and California, they successfully did it. Oh, look. And if you're a Democrat, oh my God, the mail-in ballots, the ones that we control. The Republicans beat us? Are they playing our own game against us now? Oh, crap. And it's too late. Mail-in ballots, go ahead, go for it, have fun. Is that what we're about to see? Mail-in ballot, different state. Oh, Republican win. Oh, it'd be glorious. So, do you understand what this means? Trump is very proactively protecting the 2020 elections by assigning the Office of Director of National Intelligence to perform counterintelligence operations to seek out anybody who might be trying to rig or influence our elections. This is not reactionary. This is proactive. You wonder why Obama didn't do the same thing when they said that Russia was influencing the 2016 elections. You may go with the knee-jerk reaction and say because Obamagate was behind it all, but there's more to it, much more. The intelligence community, or the IC, will continue to work in partnership with FBI and DHS to identify and integrate threat information, and Evanina will act swiftly to deliver the timely and thorough assessments to those affected by potential malicious influence. Executive Order 12333 defines counterintelligence as information gathered and activities conducted to identify, deceive, exploit, disrupt, or protect against espionage, other intelligence activities, operations, sabotage, or assassinations conducted by or on behalf of foreign powers, organizations, or persons, or their agents, or international terrorist organizations or activities. That's the end quote. The newly appointed DNI, Grenell, just put the most powerful and well-equipped counterintelligence team in the world in charge of ensuring that the 2020 elections are not rigged. Go back and look at the list in post number 4 and 5. Do you understand intelligence versus counterintelligence? Look at the potential threats they assess and gather intel on. Look at their targets, foreign powers, organizations, persons or their agents. Executive Order 12333, signed in 1981, December 4th, Ronald Reagan, is the primary document governing activities not covered under FISA and specifies the circumstances in which the nation's intelligence activity agencies can engage in foreign intelligence surveillance outside the U.S. More from that link. Executive Order 333 requires that U.S. person information may be collected, retained, and disseminated only in accordance with procedures approved by the Attorney General in consultation with the Director of National Intelligence, which is now this dude, Barr, William Barr, and Mr. Grenell, cooperation. Trump made it look like his focus was on fixing the FISA program. He looked unaware, leaving Coates in place. That was the plan so they wouldn't know to create a backup plan. They were confident having Coates in place, blocking declassification release, and stalling investigations. They had Coates' deputy, Sue Gordon, follow his every lead, learning to be a traitor just like Coates. And who would argue? After all, who recruited Dan Coates in the first place, then begged him not to quit when he and Trump disagreed? That would be Vice President Mike Pence. Whoa. So Mike Pence is a bad guy? Well, not necessarily. Not necessarily. Maybe a highly classified operation was taking place, and they needed Coates to stay. Trump now has an honest intelligence community at his disposal with the rights and privileges they need being automatically granted via that executive order 12333. There will be no fake FISA warrants or dirty judges or traitorous FBI officials to secretly plot and approve illegal operations. This answers so many questions. Why did Trump leave Coates in place for so long? It was a setup so that by the time Trump did remove Coates from office, the enemy wouldn't have time to react. Trump made them look elsewhere as a distraction while he prepared, and it worked smoothly. The smoking gun, baby. You're not going to believe the incredible timing or significance of this. Coates is told he's out, he's fired, and then this happens. The country's number 2 intelligence official, Sue Gordon, knew it was likely she would have to eventually step down from her post. But the timing of that decision became more urgent on Thursday, this is a quote from back then, after her boss, outgoing spy chief Dan Coates, interrupted a meeting she was holding on election security and asked his deputy to submit her letter of resignation immediately. Interrupting her during an election security meeting, breaks in the room, stop, submit your letter of resignation immediately. Sources familiar with the events told CNN. End quote. That was a news story back then. Coincidence that Sue Gordon was holding a meeting on election security when Coates busts in and asks her to resign? That was Thursday, August 8th, 2019. Exactly 282 days ago. And now, election security will be via counterintelligence. That number 282 days, is vital. And he posts this calculation from August 8th, 2019 to May 15th, 2020, which was 282, from and including Thursday, whatever, result 282 days. It is 282 days from the start date to the end date. Or 9 months, 8 days, blah, blah, blah. So he's just posting that. Coates figured it out. Knowing his deputy, Sue Gordon, was going to carry out plans of rigging the 2020 elections to take the White House away from Trump, probably with foreign help, Coates stopped her. He knew she would get caught and charged, maybe even for committing treason. It makes you wonder why Obama did not use the Director of National Intelligence with Executive Order 12333 to do the spying on the 2016 elections. He had all the power to do so. There was only one barrier. Admiral Mike Rogers, Director of the NSA and U.S. Cybersecurity Command. And wasn't Rogers the one who rushed over upon him leaving government, or right before, I forgot if he did right before or after, rushed over to Trump Tower, Mr. President, or soon to be Mr. President, there's bugs in your tower, you got to get out of here, blah, blah, blah. He fed him a bunch of highly important information. That same Mike Rogers, wasn't that him? Wasn't that the dude who went over there? This could explain why Obama used the dirty FISA court judges and the rogue FBI to spy on Trump instead of just using that executive order, 12333. If Admiral Rogers had to redirect satellites and assets to fulfill a witch hunt from the DNI, clapped without a solid cause, he'd probably object. Does that make any sense? If Admiral Rogers had seen an unfair or illegitimate request to spy on Trump or any of his assets or allies without some sort of law enforcement case or warrant behind it, he probably would have blown the whistle on the whole thing, and they knew it. Obama used the rogue FBI and the dirty FISA judges to lie and build real-looking cases against Trump's people. What if the sole reason for all that was to convince Admiral Rogers that there was enough probable cause to use NSA equipment and assets to spy on Donald Trump? From August 8, 2019, when DNI Coates, Mr. Coates, and his deputy Sue Gordon resigned under pressure from the president, through today, 5/15/2020, which is when he posted this, as acting DNI, Richard Grinnell assigns a counterintelligence team to protect our elections from here on out. It has been exactly 282 days. Why is that important? Because Trump recently tweeted something. Transition to greatness, he said. The numerical values of all letters combined is, wait for it, 282. But what's more is the hidden anagram I found in it. Scramble those letters, and you get a couple of options. Transition to greatness. I worked the anagrams from that phrase, and here's my favorite. Set NSA interrogations. You can use the same letters, I guess. Set NSA interrogations. Interesting. Considering how this whole thread ties in with Admiral Rogers, the 282, the anagram, it makes total sense. Thanks for reading. God bless. Where we go one, we go all. From this guy, 40head, which is at 40_head. I will link this post as I always do. Now, after I've read you that, are you leaning towards coincidental or oh snap? Oh snap. Trump is going to win in a landslide. Patriots are in fact in control. And it's going to be effing epic. Again, end of the month, I'm hearing from psychics, remote viewing stuff. There could be a terror attack. Stuff like that. Penny Kelly, you know, what you do there in exactly 3 weeks, which is the end of May. In 3 weeks, exactly what you do with what happens and how you respond to it will determine the future for you people. What the hell does that mean? I'd like to just sit back and watch it. How we respond and react to it. Well, what is it exactly? Again, I'd love to hope that, oh my God, massive takedown, tons of arrests, epic. I love it. Without any kind of terror events. I don't want the damn terror event. We don't want that crap. But some psychics and remote viewers are starting to see some stuff leaning towards that, by the way. So I hope we can get by without it. But if you're the deep state and your team is being taken down left and right, and it's you got 10 seconds on the clock, you still know you're probably going to fail, but you're so pissed off. What are you going to do? Well, let's do one more final bang on our way out. You know, again, my opinion. So, anyways, take care.